Welcome to week 4, sourcing and supply chain. If your samples keep coming back wrong, overpriced or delayed, your factory is not the problem. It's more than likely your process. Today we are talking about sourcing and supply chain. And I want to be very clear from the start. This is the stage where most brands lose most time. They lose most money and momentum. This is where the excitement turns into frustration. Samples are late. The quality of samples are inconsistent. Costs start creeping up, hidden costs start appearing, and suddenly you're wondering, is this even worth it? I see this with new brands who become overwhelmed, and I see it with established brands who are trying to scale, but they're leaking money quietly. So today I'm going to walk you through the real problems that brands face in sourcing, the right way to think about tech packs, factories, and sampling, and how to avoid the most expensive mistakes in the fashion industry. I'm not here to overwhelm you or even to talk about shortcuts that don't work. So let's start. Here's the truth. Most brands jump into sourcing too early and without systems. They message random factories, send inspirational photos, explain things verbally, and assume that the factory will just figure it out by themselves. And then the sample arrives back to them, and it arrives wrongly. And as a brand owner, you say, well, this isn't what I asked for. But the problem isn't the factory. The problem is communication without structure. Sourcing is not just finding somebody who can make clothes, it's documentation, it's clarity, it's decision making, it's timing. And if one of those breaks down, everything breaks. So don't forget to like this video and click save and refer back to it when you're planning and designing your own brand and collection. It will help you. The foundation of sampling is tech packs. So let's talk about it. Because this is where most problems actually start, a tech pack is not a mood board. And a tech pack is not just written words describing what you want, a technically visual instruction manual. So let's talk about tech packs, because this is where most problems actually start. A tech pack is not a mood board. It's not a sketch with a vibe or a load of words and paragraphs explaining what you want. A tech pack is a technical visual instruction manual. And most importantly, it's a pack that every language understands. It tells the true factory exactly how to build your garment. At a minimum, a tech pack includes measurements, specifications, materials, swatches and trims, construction details, and your fit intent. But here's what most people don't realize. Two brands can actually action a true tech pack and still get completely different results. Why? Because of clarity. Clarity matters more than the length of a tech pack. Clear sections matter. Keeping the tech pack tight. Language matters. The factory's specialist area matters. Don't ever talk a factory into doing an item that they're not specialist in that area. You'll pay for it later. It will be a very expensive mistake. And understanding how factories interpret information really matters. So support your tech packs with phone calls and Zoom calls. Small mistakes here don't look very small later. They show up as bad fits or wrong materials that have been used or extra sampling rounds and a lot of wasted money. This is why tech packs aren't just about what's included, they're about how things are communicated. Now let's talk about factory sourcing. I want to destroy a big myth here. There's no perfect factory. There are factories that are right for small runs. There are factories that can cater for large volumes, and they're right for complex garments or right for speed, but no factory is right for everything. Good sourcing is about aligning your brand with the right factory and understanding their specialisms, your order quantity and your pricing points, your quality, your expectations, your style and your product type, your timeline and your brand values. If even one of those is off, you'll feel it later on in delays and excuses and costs that are creeping up from nowhere. This is also where negotiation matters, not just price, but payment terms and minimums and sampling costs and lead times, the extras of what the factory will do for you, such as coordinating external factories for importing additional factories or prints or dyeing finishings or accessories or spot checks, allowing you to understand what factory stock is coming up. Most brands don't understand what else is negotiable with the factory, and the lack of knowledge costs them their margin. So sampling is where things get emotional. You wait weeks for your sample, you open the box and you think, this isn't it, this isn't what I ordered. That happens because instructions weren't clear and instructions weren't specific enough. The fit intent wasn't clear enough. The factory wasn't right. The factory filled in gaps with their own assumptions, or the factory wasn't the right fit to begin with. Remember, men and women in different parts of the world are different in their body shapes and shoe sizes. So don't ever leave the fit process up to the factory. The factory is not your customer profile. Smart brands don't rely on one sample only from one factory only when deciding on development. They sample intentionally. They request samples from multiple factories, compare the quality, compare the construction and the make, track revisions carefully, and make decisions based on data, not hope or emotion. Sampling isn't about perfection. It's about learning fast and deciding wisely what is your best fit. Most founders stay in sampling far too long because they don't know when to stop or when to walk away. This is where a critical path will come in, and lead time management is so important. Let's talk a little more about lead times, because this is where brands do fall behind without even realizing it. Lead time is not just production and your own lead time. It includes you talking and understanding what your suppliers' lead times are and fitting them into your critical path. It's understanding development process times, sampling rounds, material sourcing, production queues, shipping buffers. If your launch date on your critical path doesn't account for all of this, you'll always feel late, even when everything is technically on time. Strong brands plan with buffers. They set decision deadlines. They understand that delays aren't personal, that they are logistical. Weak brands react emotionally instead of structurally. Okay, so here's your learns and your mindset shift that I want you to make. Sourcing is not a hurdle, it's a system. When your system is solid, samples improve and they become faster. Cost stabilizes and becomes predictable for your budget. Timelines become predictable and scaling becomes possible. Everything is a section and a process with a time frame. Cutting emotion out. If you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, I feel stuck in sampling, I don't trust my factory, I know something is off, but I just don't know how to unstick myself or what it is, this is exactly what I help brands solve. Building their confidence in my 6-week concept to production ready course. Click the link below and book yourself in for a 15-minute free consultation where we can talk about any challenges or pressure points that you may be experiencing in your own brand, and I can provide you with a solution. Thank you very much for listening. Until the next video, bye-bye for now.